Welcome back to the channel, everybody. How is everyone doing today? This is the Platinum Trophy Show. I think we're almost on double digits now, right? For the uninitiated of you guys, the Platinum Trophy Show is a weekly show that I put together looking at all the brand new PlayStation news, the trophy news, and we kind of just go with the flow and figure it out. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. If you're new to the channel for whatever reason and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button down below. The Platinum Trophy Show, this show comes out every single week on a Sunday, I guess a Saturday for America, and we look at all the new trophies that have launched on PSN profiles, we look at all the server shutdowns, we take a look at the latest trophy news and PlayStation news and kind of just talk about whatever I want to talk about. Did you guys know that Sony made 3D glasses? That they're actually PlayStation branded 3D glasses? Look at that, the little PlayStation symbol. I found these in my cupboard. They came with a television, I guess like a PlayStation TV, and it was like a 3D TV that PlayStation launched with the PS3. I found it in there. You could play Killzone split screen with these 3D glasses on, and you would both be looking at the full screen, but actually it would be split screen, so it would show you like half the picture each. It's kind of a neat piece of tech. I have no idea if these actually work or not, or where the TV is. I think it's in storage somewhere, but I'm cleaning out my office at the moment, and that is one of the many things I found in here. Just kind of going through a ton of old games and stuff and trying to figure out homes for everything, like these old Game Boy Advance games. Look at that, Klonoa. You guys might remember Klonoa. Alright, so the Platinum Trophy Show this week. We've got some interesting news. Thought, let's start off with like news and things that have happened this week, because there is a couple of things that have happened this week that I think are kind of relevant to look at. So, what do we got first of all? So we've got this image that popped up of the PS5. These three guys here holding the PS5. Apparently this is a leak somewhere out of a factory. Showing off our first image of the PS5. It's interesting because it shows off the scale in a different way that we haven't seen before. I know we all knew this thing was going to be a big boy, but this thing is going to be a really big boy by the looks of it. You can see here it takes up like half of this guy's torso almost, which I don't know. I was kind of hoping in some way that it wouldn't be as big as this or as wide as this. For comparison's sake, I don't even know if I have a PS3. I'm gonna get up and have a look. Okay, to compare, this is my torso next to a fat PS3. Okay, so that's the PS5. We've got an image of that now, which is interesting. I think, yeah, I don't know. Look, I guess we just gotta wait till more information comes out, and then we can kind of judge it a little bit better. I'm very mindful of what the camera angle is, because if it's like an inch lower, you can kind of see all the junk that's just off screen that I'm hiding. So, trying to avoid that. Okay, so that's the PS5. The other news is that we finally got a patch for Mafia 2. This is exciting. This means that Mafia 2 can now be platinumed. I made a separate video about this a couple of days ago when the patch went live. But for all you guys wanting to know about Mafia 2, you can now platinum the game. Yay, we did it, guys. Yeah, so Mafia's been patched. I actually haven't jumped back in and checked it myself yet. I need to go and do that. I might do a video on Tuesday, maybe before SpongeBob comes out, just comparing looking at what the game looks like now and seeing if they actually have enhanced anything or if it's just the same looking game, because I think that's kind of interesting to see what that looks like. But yeah, Mafia 2's been patched, and Mafia 3 has also been patched. In Mafia 3, they put the 4K resolution stuff for PS4 Pro back into the game. I found this Magikarp hat. I think I bought this to wear on PlayStation Pokemon Go Community Day. Okay, so you guys would have seen the news on Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was delayed. It's been moved out of its September launch window to a November 19th launch window. Disappointing news for sure. I think a lot of people are upset about this one. Understandably, people were looking forward to Cyberpunk. The upside is that we have more time to play the games that we're going to have at that time. The downside is that it's going to come out, I mean, realistically, the 19th of November is probably right on the eve of next gen, if not after next gen. So I guess that's probably my only issue with it. I was probably hoping to have been playing next-gen games at that point, so I am slightly disappointed. Maybe it gives us more time to play Avengers if that's not also delayed. So that's Cyberpunk. I don't know what you guys think of Cyberpunk. It's been getting a ton of hype. I feel like it's one of these games that's being overhyped, probably a little bit more than it should be, though. Not saying it's going to be bad. I just think it's getting hyped to people are going nuts on this game. So, like, I don't know about that one. And so that's Cyberpunk. Those are kind of the top 3 news stories this week. Now, if we turn over to server shutdowns, this list here of stuff that's happening hasn't actually been updated at all. There's nothing on here that I feel is worth, like, freaking out about or diving into. However, if we go over here and look at the forum posts and what's happening, one of the things that's being sunset at the moment is a couple of raids in Destiny 2, which are associated with trophies in the base game, which would mean you are not going to be able to platinum Destiny 2 after September the 22nd. Because those raids will no longer be available in the game. We don't know yet whether or not there is going to be a fix for this if Activision... Well, I don't even know if it's Activision. It's probably Bungie now. Are going to patch something in to mean that you can earn those trophies another way. Or change the requirements for the trophies. We just don't know. Likelihood is they won't and it will just become unattainable, which is jank, but seems to be happening more and more lately. So if you're after Destiny 2's Platinum, maybe you're halfway through it, maybe you were planning on doing it at some point, you've got a couple of months to go ahead and do that. I will ask, actually, if there are any Destiny 2 players or Platinum achievers already in the comment section. I would really like to know, if I was to start Destiny 2 now, how long would it take me to earn these 2 trophies? Because I kind of don't want to be locked out of the Destiny 2 Platinum. I've never played the game before. I'm a noob at the game. It would be completely new to me. But curious just to find out how long that would take if I was to do it, and if any of you guys are like pros at it who can help carry me through to get those 2 trophies out of the way. Curious, because I don't even know if I really want the Platinum in Destiny 2, but I definitely don't want to not be able to get the Platinum in Destiny 2. That is my worst nightmare. So that's something that's on my mind. But that's all there really is in terms of server shutdowns. In terms of new trophies that have popped up on PSN profiles, though, I guess the most notable one this week is The Last of Us Part 2, which everyone's already playing. Now, I know it's probably counterintuitive because you guys might want to hear about it. We talked about The Last of Us Part 2 a lot last week on the Platinum Trophy Show. We looked at those leaked trophy lists. Turns out the leaked list was accurate, like I kind of assumed it would have been. The game's obviously out now. People are playing it. I spent all night playing it the night it came out. I was lucky enough to load it in at midnight, so I got to play it that night. Played it that whole evening. Did a collectible guide. Did a roadmap on the game as well after I'd done my playthrough. So the game is interesting. I'm thinking of doing a review or some sort of like review type video. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing something like that. But it wouldn't be like I'm thinking of starting some sort of review series up and making it kind of interesting. Not just like a traditional review, but maybe something a bit more funny and a bit more loosey-goosey. So I'm thinking of something like that. Maybe The Last of Us Part 2 is a good game to sort of kick that series off with, to add to like the other stuff that ends up on the channel. But yeah, let me know if there's interest in it, then I can definitely look at doing it. So let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, it could be just an idea that sits with me. So there, The Last of Us Part 2 is there. If you're interested in looking at the trophies for that game, I made a separate video on that. It's probably going to pop up somewhere up here, or it's down in the comments, the description below, where I did a full roadmap for the game. So check that one out as well. I go into detail about what you need to do for that game. I made one mistake in that video. I said you only need to play through the game once. I mean, technically it's true. You do only need to play through once. You don't need to play through twice. But you actually need to play the game like 1.5 times to platinum the game. And I can't change it in the video. And the video is performing kind of well, so I don't want to delete the video. It's a real dilemma. But I did chuck some stuff in the comments in the description there, so hopefully people see that. Basically, there's 2 trophies for upgrades and weapon upgrades and character upgrades that you need to get. And there's just not enough items in the first playthrough to get it, so you'll need to go through a second time. Well, not a second time. Part of a second playthrough to get that. It won't be a full playthrough. It's like 1.25-ish. and you can get the trophies that way. I was playing through chapter select, and I think I just forgot what I was doing. So that's that. But in terms of other games that have popped up, there's not a ton else. Let's talk about like half a dozen of these. Oh, actually, one thing to point out before we go into all this. No, I'll just talk about it now. Injustice is free at the moment on the PlayStation Store. You know what? I'm just going to make a separate video about it. But Injustice is free at the moment on PlayStation Store. If you want a free PS4 game, and Injustice is really good as well. Go to the PlayStation Store. My DualShock isn't even here, so I can't even... Okay. Go to the PlayStation Store, download Injustice, or add it to your cart, add it to your library. You don't even have to download the game, you can just add it to your library and you own it, and you can download it whenever you want. But it's free at the moment. WB are giving it away. I'm guessing they've got an announcement coming next week. They probably have an announcement coming next week as part of Jeff Keighley's conference thing that he's doing. So my assumption is they're giving this away to get people pumped for that. Alright, let's talk about some of these games. First one we have here is a game called Pancake House. This game here, I was looking at this a couple of weeks ago because it looks like a horror game. I like horror games. The trophies, they don't tell you what they are for, like oblivion, anger, delusion, superiority, respect, hatred, and loss. So they don't actually explain the game in any way, shape, or form. However, it doesn't have a massive trophy list. There's only 16 trophies, so that's a pretty decent sign that it's not going to be super complicated. And the game was on the drop this week, so it means it's coming out this week on the PlayStation Store, so it could end up being a relatively easy platinum, but it also could end up being a kind of cool game. There's literally no information about this game online. I've like looked it up. You know, while I'm saying this, I realize there's actually a thread down there saying, why can't I find info on this game anywhere? But if you type in Pancake House PS4, there's so much junk on my desk. You guys can't see it. Yep, I just spent another 10 minutes looking at trailers. There's literally no trailers for this game anywhere. I don't know what's going on. What are these forum posts? Maybe I should have clicked on this first and seen what you guys are actually saying. Apparently it's an FPS involving zombies. No idea. Anyway, Pancake House is coming out this week. No idea what it is. We had Radio Squid come out last week. This is I'm kind of conflicted on this one. I was fortunate enough to be given a code for this one from Radalika Games. It's an easy platinum. That's the crux of it. But I really didn't enjoy this game. It really, I don't know. It didn't gel with me at all. It has a frustrating mechanic when you like are shooting. You can only let me start again. When you shoot, you can't stop shooting. It just continuously keeps shooting in that direction, and you can change the direction that you're shooting in, but it still keeps shooting, and the bullets bounce off the walls and the enemies and things. So if you shoot this way and you hit a wall, they bounce back and they hit you. And I found that I just kept killing myself. I don't know if I was doing it wrong, but the game frustrated me to heck. The weird part about it is that they have this system where if you die, you can just respawn back to where you were again straight away without any penalty, except for coins, I guess. Like you lose like half your coins, which kind of don't mean anything anyway. And yeah. So I wonder if they knew the shooting mechanic was weird, and they incorporated like it being kind of easy to, I don't know. I have no idea what the gist of this game is, but it frustrated me to heck. And I got the platinum in it. It doesn't take very long. It's like a half an hour plat, but I never got the hang of it, if that makes sense. You know, by the time generally you finish these like shmup type games, you have a generally pretty good idea of how they work. This one here, I don't feel like I ever fully grasped how this one worked, you know? So easy game, like 2 or 3 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, and it's got 3 stacks, I believe. And it's not going to take you too long. It's just I found it frustrating. That's my thing. We've got another list for Sushi Break. So that came out in EU a couple of weeks ago. I actually talked about this. I actually talked about this last week actually, and I've been playing it this week. I platinumed this a day ago, I think. And it's a pretty easy platinum. I'd say it's like a 2 or a 3 out of 10, but it's going to take you a bit of time, maybe like 2 hours-ish, perhaps, maybe an hour if you're lucky. It's really straightforward. It's a brick breaker, unlike what I originally thought, and you're like this little, I guess like an okonomiyaki ball or something, hitting the different pieces of sushi. And it's like pretty straightforward, but it just takes a decent amount of time if you're after the platinum on that one. So Sushi Break coming to the US this week, I believe, and you have a separate trophy list for that. What else we got? we got Goosebumps Dead of Night trophies. I don't know when this is coming out. The last Goosebumps game that came out was on PS3 and maybe PS4 as well, and that was a point-and-click adventure game. So it had like a really easy trophy list. This could be the same. It could be a point-and-click adventure game. We don't know yet. What have people said online? Okay, turns out it's a first-person game, not a point-and-click adventure game. People still seem excited. To be honest, a first-person game is probably more exciting for me as well than a point-and-click adventure game. All the trophies here are for being killed, completing levels, being killed by particular enemies, finding the spider in the bread box, drinking a potion, killed by falling into the pond, discovering the vent system, and falling off the Tesla platforms. This actually might not be too bad. This is a pretty reasonable trophy list. I would say it's like a pretty easy looking trophy list. Now that I know it's not a point and click adventure game, I'm definitely more interested as well. So I might check this out. I used to like Goosebumps as a kid. I mean, it's kind of like, it's neither here nor there now. We got Mom. Well, Mom hid my game. There's no platinum in this. It's just like, yeah, I don't know what this is. Thought it was kind of interesting because the artwork and stuff, but it feels like another one of those like junky games that's coming out. Cleared day 5, day 10, day 20, day 30, day 40, day 50. Watch all poses from crazy horizontal minibar games. So I have no idea what the heck that's about. Sorry, my phone is beeping. Yeah, I don't know. No platinum. But it's another one of these weird kind of games that have just, yeah. And you know what? I think this actually is the last one we're going to talk about. This is Indiepocalypse. It's like Indie-calypse. Indie-calypse, not Indiepocalypse. Indie-calypse? I have no idea how it's supposed to be pronounced. But this is coming out this week as well, I believe. Is this like a series or something? I actually don't know what this is. Let's look this one up. Okay, so this is like game dev simulator. You play as like an indie dev doing indie dev stuff. It's got like really negative reviews though on Steam. So this game came out on Steam already, obviously. Indiepocalypse is a modern Family Guy if it was about video games. Play this game with a controller. If you don't have a controller, you're going to have a bad time. There's a couple of good ones in here. Let's see what the good ones are. It's a pretty fun game. I also love the art style. Alright, well, yeah, I don't know. This game's, it's probably going to be meh. Let's just say that. It's got like 7 golds. It's got 27 bronzes. So now I'm like a little bit unsure. The golds are just for finishing each of the chapters, which is why I thought, hey, this could be easy. But the game could also be very meh. It looks like you've just got to play all the little indie games in the game to get the platinum. But I don't know. Who knows? This got bad reviews. But honestly, I think that might be it actually this week. There's not a ton of stuff happening. There's not a ton of trophy lists that have gone live. We have this next week coming. It's not the end of June yet. We're still powering through June. We've got SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated coming out next week. Pretty excited for that one, to be honest. I played through a little bit of the game last week and really kind of dug it. The original, the GameCube version, which is the only one I have still a physical copy of, and I really dug it. So I'm quite keen to jump into that game and play it on PS4. It's not available for preload or anything like that, so I'm just going to have to go and pick it up day one. So there's that. And then that's probably all that's really happening next week, I would say. And then about 2 weeks later, we've got Iron Man VR coming out, which I'm pretty excited about as well. I think I'll check that one out. I might do some gameplay of that for you guys and check out what the platinum looks like in that one, if it's got a platinum. It should have a platinum. And then a couple of weeks after that, we've got Ghost of Tsushima. Obviously, we were looking forward to The Last of Us. That was kind of the big thing, and that's sort of here, and it's come, and it's been now. So now we kind of have to wait for that next hit. And it comes, I guess, in the form of SpongeBob and these other smaller games for a while, until all the onslaught of stuff kind of happens. But the problem this year I found is that we don't know a lot of stuff that's coming for the back half of the year. We had Cyberpunk, and we had Avengers, which I believe is still coming out. But we don't know anything about Call of Duty yet. We don't know about EA's titles yet in terms of release dates. FIFA, Madden, NBA 2K. We just don't have information about these games yet, which are annualized releases. Even Assassin's Creed we don't know the date for. So, we've got this big onslaught of information which is due to come. I'm guessing because of next gen, all of this stuff has been challenging for developers to get their announcements out and skewed. Ubisoft obviously have an event in a couple of weeks, so they'll announce all their stuff. and Activision, who knows what's happening with their stuff. Hopefully we'll have more information about those games soon. But yeah, I mean, I'll keep covering them on the channel, so you guys won't miss anything. I'll make sure you get, you guys will know about it as I know about it. But hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the Platinum Trophy Show for June 21st, 2020. If you did enjoy it, then please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel out enormously. And let me know what you guys are interested in playing. You gonna be playing any of this stuff this week? You guys excited about SpongeBob? How do you guys feel about the size of the PS5? What do you think about the Cyberpunk delay? Let's have a discussion about it down in the comment section below. And I'm trying to change the format of these videos up a little bit. I like the idea of the Platinum Trophy Show being more of a news-oriented show, but keeping it really kind of casual. Try to edit it a lot less so I can get it done a lot faster. But also just keep it a bit more natural. This is one of the videos I like to try and do that's kind of unscripted. A lot of my other videos, I like to have a rough idea of where I'm going to go with them. This one here, I like to just sort of chat and just see what happens and figure it out as I go. And yeah, and kind of it gives me an opportunity to be a bit more me, so you guys can see a little bit more of that as well, which I think is important. That's how we connect. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so and you've got to this point. And if you got to this point and you haven't already subscribed, then good on you, my friend. Otherwise, yeah, that's all there is from me. I am going to continue to clean up all of the stuff here I have on my desk. I'll show you what I've got here right now. So I've got like some old Game Boy Advance games and some old DS games. So I found my copies of Klonoa and Klonoa 2 for the Game Boy Advance. You know what? I actually never played either of these games. I feel like I should revisit these. Maybe that would be an interesting video. I could play through these and we could do a bit of a retrospective. Got my copy of Dr. Mario here. This was such a good game, but you can play this on like everything now. And then I have a whole bunch of like Castlevania games on the DS, which have never been opened before, and I'm quite keen to jump into these as well. I played a couple of these back in the day when they were pumping these things out every year. This one here, I loved, Dawn of Sorrow. I don't know if you guys have played Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. I know this is a PlayStation news show, but I also really love Castlevania, so I thought it was kind of fitting. Thinking maybe I'll do a series on these as well, talking about like all the Castlevania games that came out, especially these like side games that came out and didn't probably get tons of like hype, but they're actually still really, really good. This one here, I think you can play as two characters. No, wait, this one here you can play as two different characters. This one here, the Order of Ecclesia, I don't actually remember what that was about. Dawn of Sorrow was cool because it was like you could get the monster's powers. I feel like I'm rambling now about Castlevania games. Cool. If you guys have watched to this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was a kind of long one, and I got rambly at the end there, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, yay! See you guys. Have a great night.